financial report as amended. Vice President Venegas seconded the motion. 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstained by Director Kamala. Board does not concur, the motion passed. Number 5 on the agenda was the unfinished business. A was Wainwright 12-inch water line update. It was tabled. B was logos for truck discussion and appropriate action. Secretary Treasurer Carr made a motion to approve the vinyl decal for the truck. Director Hopper seconded the motion. 5 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstained. Board concurs, motion passed. C was budget update, no action was taken. RCAC survey update, no action taken. Number 6, new business, well enclosures, discussion and appropriate action was tabled. Surplus water increase, discussion and appropriate action. Secretary Treasurer Carr made a motion to increase surplus water rates $500 for the first 5,000 cubic foot and $10 for every 100 cubic foot after the 5,000 cubic foot. Vice President Venegas seconded the motion. 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstained by Director Kamala. Board does not concur. The motion passed. Number 7 was water operations report. No action was taken. Number 8, board staff proposed agenda items. There were none. Number 9, announce time date of next meeting, June 11, 2013 at 7 p.m. Number 10 was adjournment. Director Hopper made the motion to adjourn. Director Kamala seconded the motion. 5 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstained. Board concurred and motion passed. Meeting was adjourned at 8:30 p.m. Moving on to item 2 on the agenda, minutes for the May 14th regular meeting. Do the directors have any changes? All right, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of May 14th.
And do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Board concurs. Item 3 is public presentation. Please hold your comments to 3 minutes. Does anyone have anything? Yes.
Doris Irvin. First of all, I would like to state my objections to your adjournment of the meeting last week because of the news media. I think it was totally unnecessary. I found it very, very concerning when at a later date I found out that not only when we adjourned and came back in and reconvened, but the door was locked and the press was not allowed to make re-entry, and that is absolutely unacceptable to me as a member of this district.
First of all, the door was not locked, so I don't know anything about that.
The door was locked.
Someone made mention of that, and we made sure that we have that lock was changed to make sure that nothing happened with that lock closing the door again. But that lock was not intentionally locked.
Easily said, but okay. I just want you to know that I thoroughly object to that whole action. It was totally unnecessary, and I think it is just disgraceful that we have to go to those extremes, or that we feel that that is an extreme that this district has to go to.
It is a disruption, and it's breaking the Brown Act, and so therefore we will do it again if it happens again.
Well, I don't know. To who is it a disruption? I have no problem with it. The audience has no problem with it. And if it bothers you, change your seating on the board table so that you don't have to be affected by it
It's
directly.
against the Brown Act, and there's the rule.
I hear that Brown Act from y'all every time. I just wanted you to know that I don't appreciate that one bit.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else? All right. You know what?
Please don't flash. We're asking you kindly not to flash. This is intentional. We know it's going to flash in this classroom. Just to see what our response is going to be.
And our lawyers already stated that exactly what I did is exactly what I should do, and I should do it every time. So I'm asking you to put your camera either off flash, and please not to take it again, because if you do, I will shut the meeting down again. Any more, Tony?
I don't want anyone to flash. We asked you not to flash. Could you please not flash? We appreciate it.
What we all find some objection to that, right? It's just simply a petty thing.
Yeah, it is, but we've asked kindly, why?
It's breaking the Brown Act and it's disruptive.
This is
It's
a-
breaking the Brown Act and it's disruptive, and it also, it irritates me because I avoid light flashes like that all the time.
Well, there's a seat on the.
Listen to me, any flashes whatsoever, and it does not matter because right there is the rule. If it's not followed, then the meeting will be shut down. Thank you.
And I think.
All right, is there anything else for the public that has anything else to say? All right, we'll move on to item 5, which is, item 4, which is the financial report. Barbara?
We pulled in cash, $36,000. Ended up with a balance in the bank of $177,000. If you look at the bank record, you can see that on the second picture. We spent on the AP something on that. We spent on the AP aging almost $12,000. We only had 2 hand checks this time, and we're working on the Visa card to get it closing date at a later date in the month so that we can get it to them on our regular schedule. We're trying to work on these hand checks to get them down as healthy as we can. Okay. And then on our financial statement, we billed out $40,000. And we ended up with $11,000 profit at the end of May, which makes us almost at $70,000 for the year. This is our 11th month, so next month we will close out and start July 1st. There's 0 sales, 0 expenses. When we do this, Dave, whatever he needs, Debbie and I are meeting with him next week to set up to see what he needs. And everything. Any questions?
I noticed that the odometer readings on the trucks are here this time, and the trucks only give a little less than 7 miles per gallon, according to the fuel consumption and the odometer readings. I thought we were going to get 20 and 22 out of it.
Where you get 7.
Okay. 755 miles went at a cost of $453.14 per fuel.
Some of that was put
The
into
bill of trucks managers in Virginia.
And then there were some other expenses. You put gas in the black truck, we bought gas for our power tools, so it's not all just
The welder, and
We have-
gas.
That was
Power
906 gallons.
no, it's more than that. It's more than that.
Fill the black truck.
Yeah, the black truck's like 20 gallons.
You had a mine trailer loaded with steel and went all the way to LOA with it and back with a tank that they cut apart. So you have to factor that in there all the way. That's going to cut down the mileage you get pulling that trailer, especially with
Yeah,
10 to 12,000 pounds of steel in it. So
Yeah, the truck on there gives us the average miles per gallon, and right now it's doing like 13.
The cost of the fuel at $4.10 in the average was paid for fuel, not referring to the other, there's a few, little gas in this. But that record was out to 6.7 miles per gallon.
well, the truck on the dashboard bill will tell you what the average is, and it doesn't lie. And the truck is getting like 12 miles per gallon, and you can check it. And when the truck finally breaks in, it will go up a little bit. I don't know if it's ever going to get 20. I don't know.
Yeah, on the freeway it gets like 27 miles per gallon, and then on the roads here it gets like 12, 11.
You're pulling up, down.
The advantage of having a heavy truck is that we're able to pull that trailer, so all that steel in it. And we didn't have to run a truck and have someone do it for us. And, it's a truck that can do everything we need it to do. I know it's a little expensive for fuel, even the truck that can get it down to that.
that truck is the one should go read.
Well, I agree with you. I think we should have like a smaller truck for even users. That would be the best thing to do.
Can we use a back truck to read?
Absolutely. Just need to fix that transfer case and they can do that.
Like there's a black truck there and the other come on.
That probably does get six.
Okay.
That penny's better than 6.7.
It's not getting 6.7, no,
That's reference the fuel used versus miles covered oriented, the odometer readings. On the, what is the $1,000? Was that for the scaffolding and the welding supplies to tear up the tank?
For the visa,
$1,012.56 for the equipment to tear up the tank, is that it?
that was scaffold rental, that was supplies for the welding, we have to get a longer, hose. Is that the right word?
Leads.
Hose,
We had to rent longer leads because the welder was in the truck and it was, we had 25 foot, 50 foot of lead and we needed 100, so we had to lease or rent.
And that was to patch that tank that was leaking up at Ridge Road. This has nothing to do with the tank we tore down.
No, the welding was the patch it in?
Was to patch the tank, yeah.
That was the repair that I did on the tank, remember?
We sold the scrap for the tank for $1,140 or something. But the scaffolding was not
That's
for that.
totally different,
This is
yeah.
totally different.
Yeah, for the materials, we probably only spent, I want to say $200 in oxygen and propane to cut that tank, if even that.
Well, when I read the scaffolding and all this stuff, I thought it was for the tank before I started. I asked.
I showed some pictures last meeting, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
That's what that was for, yeah, to patch the tank.
Does that answer my question?
Bill?
Yes, on the next to last page of the Lebec County District balance sheet, page 1, it says unbilled water revenue, $43,365.52.
Okay, that's left over from the year before, and the CPA needs to take care of that when he does the financials this year. We've already spoken to him, and we also discussed it a couple meetings ago. But this is from when, what was her name, Karen was doing the books.
Well, what is just unbilled by,
So some entry she made.
Those entries she made into a miscellaneous account that no one knows what it's for, and that's the amount that's in there. So the auditors have said that this year now they can work that in and work it off, take it off, so.
We're gonna journal.
it's listed as an asset, then it's ghost.
It's ghost, yeah, you are correct.
It doesn't exist, except in somebody's imagination.
Yes, it was.
There's
And we're trying to correct that now, so.
That's the last of it. We've corrected everything else. That's the last of that entry that needs to be.
It's been going on now for over 7 months.
Well, no, he will do it in July. Not until, he does the audit, he
In
be
June
taken
is the
off.
audit. We finished the audit, the audit is finished as of June 30th. Then we start on a new year, so we have it coming out next
Well,
week.
we'll start the audit after June 30th. We gotta go through June 30th to finish off this year. And then when he does the audit, he's gonna journal that out and take care of that and make notes and everything. We could do it, Debbie and I could do it, but we asked him because he's an auditor and he understands what's going on, and so we prefer him to journal it out. But we need to wait until the end of June.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, do you have a motion to approve? Financial report? Do you have a question on the financials?
Is that including billing?
Is it including billing?
Is that including billing discrepancies and discrepancies.
I don't remember this, usually in the public presentation.
I'm addressing the $718 water bill on the actual $76 balance.
Okay, well, usually that's handled on the public presentation, and we're already moved on to financials. Would you like to bring it back to the board next month?
Yes, I would.
Okay, thank you. All right, do I have a motion to approve the financial report?
I make a motion.
Do we have a second? All in favor? Yes.
By approving the report, we approve the report, we approve the payment.
So it's all put together, and we just decided on it. That's it. Okay, all in favor?
Same.
Aye. Okay. Motion does not pass, but, I'm sorry, the motion. Board does not concur, but motion passes. All right, we're moving on to item 5, which is unfinished business, and B is the Wainwright 12-inch line update. Okay, first off, we received as-built from Jeff French over the weekend, and as there are still a lot of questions pertaining to these, we'd like to investigate a little bit more. We also received from Emily today pictures and bills of sale, so we need some time to take a look at that. She just was here right before the meeting, so we'd like to take a look at that and maybe take a look at it next month. So we'll then table this. Do you have any questions?
The as-built plans are
Yes.
available.
Yes, thank you.
If anybody would like to see them, we have them. Here. And the pictures.
I would like to say that I would.
This is what Emily got just before the meeting. Okay. Then we'll move on to item B, which is the welding closures update.
May I ask a question?
Is it relating to this?
It's related to what you've just passed down the...
Yes.
Yes, just could you tell us what it is that Emily brought in specifically?
Pictures and the bills of sale
Of what?
of the line being installed.
So bills of sale, like for materials?
Yes.
And pictures as they were building the...
Okay, I haven't even had a chance to look at it. She dropped it off right before the meeting, so that's why we're asking for more time. So we're going to table that.
What was in question was the slurry, whether the pipe was slurried or not, and as far as the drawings are concerned, whether or not they had noted a detail for the slurry, and also, we hadn't had any view that we changed it, we have it, now we can look at it.
Mhm.
And the other question is whether or not there was a thrust block,
A what?
thrust block put in one of the 90-degree turns on the 12-inch police department. This is what we're investigating.
Because there was also that question that came up about whether there was, maybe you're using terms that I'm not familiar with, but there was the question about whether there was a kind of like a concrete foundation for it.
Yeah, that's an encasement.
Encased in cement.
Yes.
Slurry encasement is what we were wondering. The pictures that she brought in, I looked at them just now, and it appears to be encased. Now, the only question now is whether or not there's a thrust block at one of the connections in the corner.
Okay. And how can we see the pictures
You can see the pictures now if you want to see them.
after your meeting?
After June, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to B, which is the well enclosures update. And this is brought up at the last meeting that we should obtain bids from Dry Creek Community Gardens. And as they're set up to build on site, we did so. And the estimates are as follows. The Chimney Canyon well came in at $3,182.05. The state well came in at $3,657.47. The Lebec well came in at $3,657.47, with a grand total of $10,496.99 for all three buildings. As you probably remember, Raphael quoted them at approximately $1,000 per building, in doing it in-house, which comes to $3,000. We have all the estimates, and we have all the brochures and everything. Any questions relating to that?
One thing I'd like to mention is I do have plans for
Raphael that are 8 by 14, which would work really well. And yeah, they would probably cost anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 materials. And some of the advantage of this particular barn/shed is it doesn't have to have a concrete slab, which may be really advantageous to get it in Raphael's hand and you can compare it to what he's got.
All right, that was just bringing all this information that we just received. Does anybody else have any questions about that?
I have a question, Doris, I have a question regarding the time frame that you're looking at and for doing this.
Just before winter?
I think we said, how long is it going to take us to do
To do
it?
it?
We'll probably.
No, I wasn't asking how long it's gonna take, I'm talking about when we plan on the construction of these and
Be nice to have them before winter.
You need to have them in before winter, because what's hurting the wells is the temperature, the up and down, the wind blowing through those, it's just hurting us really bad. These gotta go in by timers, because the timers are being damaged, because they're getting wet, and they're cold, and they gotta be insulated, they gotta be covered. You can't have wind and water and rain going through there.
it's only been 30 years, so I don't
Well-
guess it is an emergency.
30 years, and how many have we bought in 30 years? You know, that needs to change. The only district that doesn't have them covered, they need to be covered.
And we just have a problem and end up having a local rep costs us over $10,000, so it's important.
It all needs to
that-
be covered, you know. This is not the Stone Ages anymore.
Yes, Thomas.
For example, just using it as an example, you've seen the construction that Fraser Park's doing. They built a nice pump station. They built a house over it in conjunction with their boosted pump station and well reservoir. That's the similar principle that we're trying to get to here. It really is good to cover the equipment if we can. It's really something. It's important.
Yes.
Craig Smith, you said something about there wasn't going to be concrete underneath, but you're going to have to put something underneath.
Right, it has
Blocks,
a wood
rock,
floor frame thing. I'm not saying that's what we use, I'm just going to offer it because I think it's a good alternative.
Yes, Frank.
What's going to keep the ground squirrels from undermining that? Because I know out in those fields out there, there's a lot of ground squirrels.
What was that?
There's already cement in place at the wellheads, so we can just extend it a little bit or even build, some we can just build right on the cement, but others we have to extend just a little bit, so that's not a problem.
The best thing would be to have it concrete, if you close it completely. The main thing is to keep the elements off of the electronics that's hurting these wells, the soft start systems, things got to be covered. It can't be, it's the first thing that the well guy said when he came out to replace this well. That stuff needs to be covered. It's hurting the wells.
Which is costing money. Okay, any other questions? All right, we're going to move on to item 6, which is new business, which is the grand jury update. I'll read to you their recommendations. Let's see, recommendation 1, proper responses to the previous two 2011-2012 Kern County grand jury report should be made on district letterhead and signed by the board of directors. Recommendation 2, when funds become available, the district should purchase another vehicle for the second water operator to drive to perform job requirements. Recommendation 3, the district vehicle should be appropriately marked with a district decal for identification. Recommendation 4, when funds become available, the district should provide medical benefits to its employees. Recommendation 5, all board members should complete AB 1234 ethics training every 2 years. This report from the grand jury is posted online at their site, which is www.co.kern.california.us/grand jury. If anyone is interested and would like to take a look at it to view it in full, it's also posted in our office. What?
Now,
Now,
what last Friday?
well, I'm sorry, it probably was there, it just wasn't posted, I apologize for that, it is now. Let's see, we will be responding to their recommendations shortly. We need to form an ad hoc committee to respond to these recommendations. Director Hopper and Director Cologne are involved at the moment in their own budget committee for this year, so do either of the remaining directors elect to start an ad hoc committee for this purpose. We'll need to respond within 90 days of this report, making that due by August 14th, 2013. If I could request that this be brought back to the board by July regular meeting for approval of the board. And do I have a motion to create an ad hoc committee in response to the grand jury's recommendations and presented at the July regular meeting?
I make a motion to have an ad hoc committee, and I would be more than happy to be on it.
And do I have a second person?
Second, that one.
It's not the second motion, I need a second person for ad hoc committees too. That one is you, Tony, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. So it will be reviewed at the general meeting, so we'll have it ready by then. Okay. Do I have a motion for this ad hoc committee, by the way? To respond? Have a motion to respond?
Have a motion to do what?
To respond, yes.
To the,
Grand juries. For a ad hoc committee?
I make a motion to form an ad hoc committee to respond to the,
All right, that's it. Okay, I've asked you, you can't seem to understand that it's disruptive, okay? It's not only disruptive to me, but it's also disruptive to other members of this board. Tony?
I don't want to do this for this guy.
Okay, we're shutting this meeting down. Thank you very much. If you'd like to come back in, you may, after the people that are disrupting the meeting have left, and we'll continue the meeting. Other than that,
It's wasting my time.
You are wasting everybody's time. This is absolutely unacceptable.
do I have a motion to close this meeting? Do I have a second?
You have a second, do you guys have bosses? Or are you guys free to do whatever? They're looking. Are you guys the people that run everything?
Yes.
So we don't have any rights at all?
Yes, we have.
And you guys just take off, we didn't even get to answer questions, just because he took the picture.
Because he's
This
using
is
flash,
okay.
he's using
That's how
flash, and it's disruptive, and it's also against the Brown Act, and
Yeah,
not
no,
in
it's
the
not.
So,
It's not.
and I'm going to repeat,
It actually-
after you
that
leave,
act
you are allowed back in, if you would like, we will continue the meeting. That act
It actually
actually
allows for flash photography presentation at a presentation.
What about ours? What about the audience?
I don't have a problem with any flash vehicles.
Well, maybe I do.
Well, you're sitting behind us, so, or in front of us, you didn't see it.
I can see it flashed up on the wall. You're gonna argue with me about this, really?
Yeah, I'm arguing with you because it's the right of the district to have the media present in a meeting.
Yeah, but that's-
There is not another
Is there
district, not
anything about-
another board meeting in this whole.
Is there anything I said that they can't be here?
About
Is there anything I said I could think they can't be here? It was just a freaking picture that they're asking not to be here.
I don't want any problems, and I'm asking you respectfully, please, please, can you please take our flash?
She tried to talk to the board and the
Well, I
lady told
appreciate
her
it.
that.
I don't want any
she
trouble
was
with
the boss.
anybody.
This lady, right, is that her name? She said she was the boss.
I don't know, we can't speak about anything that's not.
Yeah. I need to have a motion on or
Please
whatever it
do.
is.
Please put it on the agenda. If you'd like to leave now, our meeting
I'm
is
not waiting
finished.
another month to have my water turned back on because it was, because it was turned off, because it's not giving you a 1 day. And there's 2 other people that I know that had their water cut off and had to pay $300 just to get it back on because they wouldn't let them, wait till after 12 o'clock.
Yeah, because
12
now we're
o'clock.
not getting anything across, because now they're gonna,
No, I don't care.
I'll just go somewhere.
Well, do care, that's the problem. Too many people walk out and don't come back.
I know, well, they don't even let us
It
talk.
doesn't do any good.
Or they don't give us our rights.
That's the
Freaking people that live here, we all live here. I know 3 people that had their
Are you
water
gonna
turned off.
reconvene or not?
And one of them wouldn't even wait till 12
Because I'm
o'clock
not through.
to get the water. She shut it off. No, then I'm gonna come back in as long as we're in here.
Just sit there. Just sit there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not through either. I've been lied to point blank last
There's
How to
poor
reach-
people.
give me your
The
names
poor
and how to
people.
reach you
I know
guys.
3 poor
I'm the editor
people
of the
that's had their water turned off.
Are you? Because I have.
Because they didn't get the money there. One before
substantiated
12.
charges against the manager.
One didn't
of
have the money
water
right
district.
away.
Just let me know how to get hold
It's
of
just
you.
since they got some new water board or something. I don't know what it is.
Okay, we're asking you to leave because you're being disruptive, and if you'd like us to call the sheriff, we can do that. So please, would you please leave? Would you please leave? Would you please leave? You're disrupting this meeting, and would you please leave? Hey, Debbie, call the sheriff, please. Call the sheriff.
You disrupted.
No answers. Yeah, that lady was rude to my sister, and she wrote in the newspaper when she
I
was.
spoke, by the way, I did speak. to the
Yeah.
manager.
This is what she wrote in the article, and she treated my sister horribly.
Well, I was told what was legal and what wasn't legal that's going on in here. and I was
Did you want
also
to,
told that
Got me.
the next week-
Angela? Are you Angela? And you're
Wendy, my sister.
Wendy?
Wendy, yeah.
And are you both Craycroft?
I'm
Craycroft?
afraid she's.
I have, actual,
All the things.
actual proof to
Since, and Bill, since the two of you,
That,
y'all do the same people.
unprofessional
coming in
behavior,
here.
intimidating acts, harassing situations, holding on, and straight out abuse of power have been used in the water district.
And she's gotten against me.
And this is what they accused the grand jury of doing to them. They did to me. And the office manager was assigned to the grand jury, and it says that the grand jury said that there was a degree of hostility, which I also occurred.
I will come and talk with you personally.
I'll show you how I had to bring my water up, because she wouldn't give me a one-day extension.
And my daughter has a child in her house, and they turned her water off. Because
This is the people's
she
meeting.
couldn't get it to the place before 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, she couldn't get her money over to them, and they shut her water off. And she could have got the money after. I didn't get the notice, the late notice until after.
How much did you owe?
Redundant charges. And then I charged her for misconstrued. One I didn't have.
Well, I mean, or speak up. What'd you say? Make sure that, no, turn it on and say it again.
Turn on what?
Whatever you're
I said, be
recording.
very careful, if something will turn on you, and then you're gonna be trying to lose.
I'm not turning on,
I said, they will turn on you.
who's gonna turn on?
The local newspaper.
You think?
They're gonna drill through the 180 charges.
I still have the same information, and I'd like an explanation when it gets to it, but you'll see where it goes when it goes there.
You'll have to do that twice a week.
No, I won't do it because it's on discussion with the grand jury, and that's what we're discussing. No, it's not.
We already made a motion, we have an ad hoc.
That's all right, but you have a closed discussion on the grand
I already
jury.
moved on to the water, we have such a.
I knew you didn't want to hear it. I knew you wouldn't allow it to be heard.
What's that? I'm kind of confused.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure you were given all the information.
We'll hold you on.
So we need to get silent.
What? I'm not feeding the fire. Tony, I don't care. When I walked in this office last Friday to pay my bill, and I asked to read the grand jury report, it was not posted. I was told if I wanted to see it, I could go to the newspaper and read it, the one that they loved. I told them that was not what I wanted to do, nor should I have to do. I asked again to be allowed to read it. I was then told it was not in the office, it was in the hands of the board. And I said, that's unacceptable. It states in here, and by law, it is supposed to be posted, visible to the public. Amazingly, Debbie went to the back room and made copies of it and brought it out. Now, it wasn't here. It was in the hands of the board. It wasn't posted. And I'm supposed to sit here and say I wasn't lied to about the grand jury report and me having access to it? What was I lying about? First of all, I was told to go to the newspaper. Told them I didn't want to do that. Secondly, I was told it wasn't in the office. It wasn't in the office. It was in the hands of the board. When I stated that it was supposed to be in this office and posted, Debbie then went to the back room and made the copies, and here it is, and I left here Friday with it in my hands. So why was I told it wasn't in the office? Why was it not posted?
You said it wasn't in the office.
Debbie, did you not tell me it was in the hands of the board? You didn't have it here?
I said I didn't have it, and I got permission.
That's beside the point. You don't have to ask permission. That's a law. It's supposed to be posted.
And you got
I should have been able to have walked in here and picked it up off the counter or read it on a bulletin board. But you told me 3 different ways before I finally had it in my hand. And then you tell me I'm the one that's stirring the pot? No. I'm telling you that there was no excuse for it.
This water board seems to be a series of running into a wall, turning around, running into a wall, running into a wall. Nobody wants to give you any answers.
No.
Yes, it is.
This water.
Yes, it is, and I have several documented.
Excuse me, what is your name?
My name is Wendy.
Okay, and you are a property owner here?
I'm a property owner up there. I'm not living in my property right now.
Okay, so
But
are you
that
a property
doesn't
owner in
matter.
the
This is a
district?
public meeting.
Are you a property owner in the district
I am a property renter.
or a renter?
But, and you tell me I'm stirring the pot, Tony?
Feeling the fire.
I can't hear you. You're going to have to speak up.
I'm not here to argue with anybody.
I'm not here to argue either. I'm just telling you what happened to me and why. This is the people's house. This office and the business of this board belongs to the district. For whatever reason, there are many things that are just kind of shuffled over, like, let's don't get into
What
debt.
shuffled up? What?
Well, can you give me a...
He's supposed to put it in the paper. Did you look in the paper for it?
You don't like the paper, is it the
Did you
truth?
look in the paper?
No, it isn't usually.
I read his articles.
Did you look in the paper?
I read his articles in the
Did you look
paper
in the paper
every
to see if it was in
week.
there?
No, I did not go to his report and read it because I didn't have to. Would you like for me to read that statement to you?
Why are you?
The Lebec Water District should post a copy of this report where it will be available to the public view.
He puts it in the paper.
That's not posting it. It's supposed to be in this building.
That's a well-known procedure, well-known.
And I do not appreciate that Debbie stands there and tells me 3 different alternatives. One, I can go to the paper. I don't want to go to the paper. If I want to go to the paper, I'd already been there. 2, it's not there.
It's on their website.
Well, wouldn't it be easier just to answer a question instead of be confrontational and send somebody back with no answers? Because that's what you all do. And as long as she's doing it, you are all doing it because you are defending her for doing it. You went to the grand jury with all these accusations that this woman
We didn't go to the grand jury
perpetrates
at all.
on every single user that does not meet her standards in the district.
Excuse me, but we did not go to the grand jury.
She did.
She did
Yes,
not
it
go
was.
to the
Okay,
grand
okay,
jury. The grand jury came.
Oh, yeah, and they're coming again. And on many occasions, obstacles to
It's only, that is the only way your water can be turned off is if you are 90, if you are over 60 days. On the 60th day, you were sent a certified letter before that, and you were also put a hammer on
Certified.
certified.
And I got a certified letter afterwards.
I can't help when you get it, but we have postage when we sent it, and we send it out on the same day, every day. And you know what, we're not supposed to be talking about this at this meeting unless it's on the agenda, so please post it on the agenda for next month.
That's a long time to wait.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it, that's, the law's the law, so that's.
Okay, so committee was met on many occasions, obstacles, resistance, and a certain degree of hostility. The board was not cooperative, and the employees.
I want to say something. I know everybody's mad here, but, we're adults here, we need to act like adults, not raise our voices. I know it's real frustrating.
Yes,
in
there's
this situation, but, we're all adults, so we need to treat everybody
We
with
are acting
respect
like adults.
and.
They aren't treating us with any respect. They're not answering the questions.
That's right.
And I'm acting like we're stupid, like
We're not
they're
being-
they all in our like we're stupid.
To earn respect, you gotta give respect. If you're disrespecting.
Nobody's disrespecting. He's talking to her like she is disrespectful.
Oh, the tone of my voice? You want to hear the tone of
It's
her voice?
frustrating.
You
Yeah.
want to see the hostility coming out of that one right there?
I'm just saying, we need to act like adults.
Yeah.
Professional.
Right, we do.
And just move on. Or else we're gonna be here all night. We're not gonna get it.
We don't have, we're not getting answers to our questions and we don't have any place.
Every time there is.
And they're not helping us and they're supposed to help us. We
Okay,
have
so-
no place
so-
else to turn.
So what's your,
Except for the county.
what's your question? What's your question?
I know 3 people that's had their water shut off
Okay.
and not even warned and then have to pay $300 to turn it
They're
back on and they're all.
They're not
They're poor
even, you're not
people.
allowed to say a word.
Wasn't there a
You're not allowed to
3-minute
try to make
presentation
any
on
kind of
problems and things like that?
Where there, it's
I don't
all like,
understand
all of the
this.
procedures, all of the procedures flip flop depending on somebody's
We're
mood.
waiting for the sheriff, that's all we're doing, we're waiting for officers to say, well, we can't deal with
You
it.
cannot flip flop
It's not on
around
the
the
agenda, so you're not allowed to speak about it. If they were here during the public presentation on time, then they could have spoke about it, but we can't talk about it, that was what I moved on.
Can you put it on the agenda for next?
Well, I'm not gonna wait around till next meeting, I'm going to grand jury, when I have
The
substantial.
grand jury's not even in session. They won't be till-
I'm going to make a grand jury complaint against the water board. Since you don't seem to want to listen.
And you're not the property owner, you only deal with the property owner. If you would like to pay the
My
bills,
mom
your
also.
property owner has already stated
We
you
did
have
it for
paid your
50
bills,
years.
but you
And-
have not paid your bills, so. Therefore, you
I
cannot
paid
pay your
my bill.
bill.
I paid my bill. I paid my water, what I owed, really, instead of a bunch of bullshit charges that were brought in. On somebody's discretion.
Are we in session or are we not?
We're waiting on them. Till the disruptors leave, then we'll.
Rude and.
This is more excitement on the water board than I had the whole 40-plus years I was on it.
Yeah.
My simple question is, and everybody jumped my case about why was I lied to about
I never said a word.
grand jury report?
And the probably reason why she said that is because that jury report comes out early, and it comes out to me personally. And they sent it to me and told me that I wasn't even supposed to speak about it.
You had the jury report.
Listen to me, I was told in the letter not to speak about it whatsoever until after it had already come out. It came out on the day of the last meeting. So I couldn't even put it on the agenda to speak about it at that time. So maybe that's what she's talking about. The original paperwork came to me directly.
It's not a matter, once it's received and after you have been served, and that period of time, which is 2 days,
No.
it's supposed to be, we don't have
It
to wait
stated
a
it
month.
wasn't be allowed to be put out until it was put out on their early release period. That's what the letter stated, that's what exactly.
Well, they put it out a long time before last Friday,
They put it out
because it was
last
in the
month.
paper
Last month.
announced. that we could view it in the paper.
Correct. And
Like that.
it was actually copied for the directors after that fact, but, you know, maybe Debbie was just unaware of the fact that it was supposed to be posted. I was unaware that it was supposed to be posted. I've never been in this position before. So it is posted now. You're fully welcome to it. We were given it that day.
The
We
last
haven't held anything
two
back.
both state posting, and they were posted. This is the only one that's not been posted.
What's that one?
This one is the one that you received from May 11th, and it was received on May the 14th. And I don't remember exactly what day I got it, but it was reasonably close. It says this report's confidential until public release. Now, I did not get the face page of this grand jury. I only got the rest of it.
That was personal to me.
And it states on here, the grand jury will be releasing the report to the public on May 21st. So I probably got it that day or the next day.
We haven't gotten it the next day.
But, so we were talking from the 14th to 21st, we were looking at 1 week. We were talking from the 14th till the 7th of June, and it still was not made public for viewing in this office. And when I asked, and I did not ask with hostility, I just simply asked to read it. And that's when I got all of this bull about go to the paper, and then it wasn't here, and then it was with the board, and then when I said it was supposed to be posted for public viewing in this office, amazingly, it was in the back room. So it was always here. For whatever reason, Debbie was resisting giving me the copy of it, nor did she have it put on the desk.
She probably didn't realize that she was obligated to give that to you. But, you know, a lot of us are still new in what we do, and we don't know what all the rules are. You know, you learn just by like situations like this. It should have been put on the wall.
She didn't question when I said it was legal. It was illegal to withhold it.
She did not know. Well, how was she going to know something like that? So, again, we found out, so, and then now it's posted. I mean, you weren't asked, said that you couldn't have a copy of it or anything like that, so.
Julie, isn't this the
You're
fourth?
yelling and screaming when you come in here. Every time. Yes, you do. You did it to me. You come in here yelling and screaming when you come in here. And I've had enough of that.
Well, I had enough
Because I'm here to
around the
serve
bush,
the
too.
community. And I'm not here to listen to you yell and scream every time you come in here.
You're not serving the community, you're serving the
Okay?
board.
That's why I'm short with you, because every time I meet with you, you're yelling and screaming at me. And I've done nothing to you but help you.
And nothing for.
What have you done to help me?
I do a lot to help the whole community on my own time and my own money, okay?
You asked for the
That's
job.
right, I'm serving. I don't serve for you to yell at me, okay? And that's what you do when you come here. You yell and scream. That's all you know how to do, Dolores.
No, you're
You're a
absolutely.
complainer.
You're the one yelling and screaming.
I
Well, no, I am. I've had enough. I'm fed up, okay?
This water district.
I mean, I know who you are, so I'm not talking to you,
You
all right?
what?
I don't know who you are.
Excuse me, you're not the property owner, so we're not even going to discuss
I'm not
anything.
even talking to you. I'm not
Okay,
here
you've
to
already been
argue or
discussed.
yell
Get the
or
property
get yelled
owner.
at,
Who
okay?
says it's
All right,
You can't talk to me without yelling at me. Don't talk to me.
Because of
You're not the
criminal
property
activity.
owner, put it on the
Okay?
agenda.
I will,
bring it in.
I will, it won't be on the agenda,
We'll
she'll
see
be
you
in
next
jail.
month.
See you
Thank
later.
She'll be in jail.
Thank you.
Dolores, I don't have any more to say to you. If you can't talk to me without yelling at me, in the future, don't talk to me. Because I never have ever disrespected you or your family, ever.
Tony,
Okay?
the only
You have
conversation,
no reason to yell at me.
the only
Okay,
conversation
personally.
I've ever
And
had.
you do, every time.
The only conversation I've had with you personally was at that desk out there.
That's enough
After
for
I
me.
came in and you got very
And she's
defensive.
afraid of you when you come in here because all you do is yell at her. Okay?
Oh, bull.
Yeah, no, it's not bull. Because that's what you do. That's your MO. You come here to yell and complain and yell at us. Nothing positive from you, Dolores.
You're wrong, Tony.
No, I am not wrong. I'm watching what's
What
going
is,
on.
what
I'm
I
here. I'm
ask
sitting
are
here.
questions that people in this district, and if they don't want to ask it, I don't mind asking it, but when I am sat here, you stood at that counter and you got, when I questioned, and I
You yelled
brought it
at
before
me,
the meeting.
okay? You were screaming at me. Okay? You were. You don't have to scream at me.
Yes, Joe.
I hate to inform you, but you're a little bit off base on property owners. Do you know
Policy
if you've got anything
procedures
to
was
say?
changed. Property owners was changed, Dale, so you'll have to go back and check and look at our policies and procedures. We
You're
only
right.
deal with the property owner. We do not deal with that. That is moving into a business deal with the property owner. We have nothing to do with that because we have no control over who's in that or what they pay or how they pay. We have no control over it. We do have control over the property owner. That was changed about maybe a year and a half ago.
You deal with any registered voter. Because the registered voters, not the property owners, the registered voters is who elects the voter.
Oh, boy, we got Mr. Big Dog here.
The registered voter elects the board, not the property owners.
We only deal with property owners, because that's why your district was in such dire straits before, because you had so much money owed by people that skipped and left, and just left the money to the district and had the district have to eat that money, okay? So now we deal only with the property owners, therefore we can go ahead and lien the property if they don't pay, and that's how it works, okay? We do not deal with renters anymore. That they enter into a business deal, when they decide to have a renter in their home, that's a whole business that they deal with, not us. We have nothing to do with that, only the property owners.
Remember that the next election, if you start looking for the
I'm
registered
not
voters.
primarily worried about it, so I won't be running you. That's just fact. And that's the way that it should have been all along. We wouldn't be in the
But by the flash, respectfully, not once, not twice, many times. And we're still asking respectfully, please not to flash.
Number one, there's no reason for it. This place is plenty light for you to get a good picture. All right? Even your guy you brought in last week, I think Gunther is his name or something like that, stated that he didn't even need to take a flash. But you do it as a disruption, and that is what's so disturbing. Number one, the day that you took all the pictures, do you really want to know what I'm going to tell you? The day you took all the pictures, at least 25 pictures that day, I went into a migraine sitting here. I avoid flashes. I avoid flickering lights. I avoid all that. That right there is a Brown Act violation to use flash. And that's what we're betting on. And we talked to our attorney. You can laugh all you want, right? But the fact of the matter is that is a violation of the Brown Act for you to use illumination, and it is disruptive. So that's just to let you know. We've asked you nicely.
Nicely.
And we've been
Still
told
asking
that
you.
we're going to do exactly what we're doing. And that's exactly what we're doing.
If you're going to publish this, we're still asking you nicely, please don't flash. Thank you for not
Just
flashing.
let us do our job here. That's all we're asking.
I'm just asking respectfully not to flash. That's all.
While we're having general discussion, at one point, Tony, you asked me, why do the people not come to this meeting anymore? What did I tell you? Do you remember?
It's my community. I love this town. I love their people. And I love the people here. And I'm proud to be here. And I'm proud to serve here. This is what I do. I'm serving. And I'm trying to make it better for everyone. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. And I'm giving my time. I'm not trying to hurt or disrupt or change. I'm trying to make it better. User things. I'm not here for that. I'm here just to serve. This is what I signed up for.
All right, we're all leaving.
All right, they're doing, the meeting's going to be postponed right now. They're going to put it on pause. We can have everybody step outside. And we'll resume in a few minutes.
That's down there from Rex.
side of the building.
On the east side of the recreation ground.
But you saw what's wrong there, right?
Debbie outside?
Debbie?
No, don't say anything.
I have 2 minutes left.
Just let it run out. There's so much stuff there.
It's clear they disrupt their own meetings. It's just amazing.
God, it went so long. That's good.
I'm just glad they didn't bust it. They were in there.
This is the gentleman who took the report last month. He kind of knows what's happening. And, he may require us to stay out of their meeting. I don't know.
Let me see your watch.
8 o'clock.
Will the